and welcome back to Sin City Classic. We are getting ready to stream the game between Salt Lake City and Boston Pandas. So we're just about to start with brooms up in a second. Christian Barnes seems to be our head ref, maybe? Maybe not.
And who are you?
My name is Cornelia Zana. I am a chaser for the Lost Boys. Pleasure to be here with you today, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. People on this stream love to compliment the commentator, so we want to make sure you get the credit.
Thank you. As you may or may not know, the Vipers, Silicon Valley Vipers, were also supposed to play at this tournament, but they decided to drop at the last minute due to COVID concerns, so they will be forfeiting all their games today. We are at a cool 57 degrees Fahrenheit today out here in Henderson, I believe. And it looks like we're about to start up our game. And that is brooms up. Pandas have bludger control, and Salt Lake is coming down with a quaffle. Number 30 is the keeper, and he scores. Luke Steining is the keeper right now for Salt Lake City. I would say that probably most, if not every team has appeared today with sort of a depleted roster due to everything going on. But games are still putting on strong plays and really pushing themselves even with smaller numbers. And that's a good goal for the Pandas. The Boston Pandas are also just coming off of a game against TCQC, Twin Cities Quidditch Club, which they lost, I believe, at a score of 140 to 80. Let's see what they can do against Salt Lake. Almost got a fast break there for the Pandas, but there's that deep pass from Salt Lake, and unfortunately it doesn't quite hit the target. Pandas bringing up the quaffle with their keeper, number 33, that is Anskura. Pandas moving the ball around. The Salt Lake beaters are stuck pretty close to the hoops, making it a little harder to go in for the drives. And we have a stoppage play. It looks like it might have been a bludger being thrown illegally.
Yeah, I think something having to do with the SWAT of some sort.
The refs are discussing. Goal for the Pandas is good. And there is no other calls on beater play. Steinen coming down with the quaffle for Salt Lake. Passes to Liz Renshaw, who gets wrapped up by Skura and unfortunately loses the ball. Skura tried to move up the field, fast feet, moving around players. Pass. And now Pandas managed to get bludger control. Skura's moving in, quick pass to the side. Nice goal by the Pandas, avoiding that beat right by the hoop. Score is currently 10-30 with Pandas leading. Salt Lake definitely has a size advantage over the Pandas, but the Pandas are definitely making up for it with quick footwork and speedy chasers. And a press by the Pandas. And trying to juke around the keeper, and a score for the Boston Pandas. Once again, Salt Lake keeper slowly walking down the field. Pressure gets wrapped by the Pandas, and Pandas take the quaffle, trying to move down the field. Ooh, gets wrapped up and to the ground. Pandas still have a hand on the ball, and that's a score shot. A great angular shot by Ian Skura on the Pandas. Getting a little windy out here in Nevada, throwing our papers around. But what a great day for Quidditch. And we have Cameron Vombar in as the keeper now for Salt Lake, coming down with a quaffle. Ooh, around the hoops, running through the chasers, and scores. Looks like there might have been some accidental elbowing to number 47 on the Pandas, unfortunately. But number 47 looks okay and ready to go. Looks like Salt Lake is trying to push up top. And that's already another goal for the Pandas. Score is currently 20. Oh, and we have a stoppage of play. Current score is 20-60. Quick stoppage of play, but there doesn't seem to be a call from the refs. Cameron coming down once again, holding the quaffle for Salt Lake. Tessa Mullins is in on the Pandas, stepping up top with her bludger. Tessa has been hitting some really, really great long beats today. And there's a bit of a cuddle puddle over on the edge, but Salt Lake manages to keep the quaffle. Oh, gets beat by the Pandas. Number 47, Morgan Bertram, trying to take down that quaffle carrier. And the ball is out and in the hands of the Pandas, who score once again. Oh, a couple of wrap efforts there. Pandas still hold on to the quaffle. Number 2 manages to pass off that quaffle at the last minute. And a reset for the Pandas. Reset has been used. Again, Salt Lake trying to wrap and taking down that chaser and going back in for that wrap. The pass goes off to the keeper. Quick pass by the hoops, but up against a few big chasers, and unfortunately that goal doesn't make it in. And that was number 28 on the Pandas, Jung Hoon Nam, trying to go for that goal, but coming up a little short against the tall big boys of Salt Lake City. Cameron once again with a quaffle. Coming down the field, looks like Salt Lake is trying to play a non-male chaser by the hoops. They're smaller players. Oh, and a big takedown from 47 to 47. It looked like the ball was already out there, but she was taken down. Score is 20-80 with the Pandas leading. Cameron Von Bar coming down with the ball for Salt Lake City, going through the double wrap. That pass or shot doesn't quite make it to its destination. The keeper on Pandas, Ian Skura, picks it up and is down the field once again. Passing off to Nam. A couple of quick passes back and forth. Pandas managed to keep the quaffle through a questionable process that almost had them beat. Looks like there's a stoppage of play. What are your thoughts about the tournament so far, Michael? How have you been seeing these teams?
Oh, thanks for looping me in. It's been great. It's been like 2 years since we've really seen a lot of the West facing outside their region. And I think you definitely see some teams shaking off the rust who haven't had a chance to play in 2 years. But for the most part, teams are playing fresh, and it's nice to see returners, but a lot of new talent too.
Yeah. Which is always nice to see after 2 years of no Quidditch that new people are still interested in joining us on the field.
Yeah, and the atmosphere has been great. Every single spectator's come up and been like, how do I play? How do I watch? How do I cheer?
And it's important to note that this tournament is part of a bigger series of events happening here called Sin City Classic. And there's a ton of other sports and events happening throughout the city. And another goal from Salt Lake. Looks like there's a bit of differing beating decisions by the refs, creating some confusion, but gameplay is still going. Ian Skura with the quaffle for the Pandas. Passing off to Nam. Just trying to find an opening and move the ball around, switching it back to Skura. And a long shot doesn't make it in, gets stopped by the keeper. Score is 30-80 with the Pandas leading. And it looks like that ball doesn't make it all the way through. The keeper gets beat right next to the hoops. Skura once again with the quaffle going down, running fast. That pass is not quite on target, but manages to get the ball back and is back into setting up offense.
Now, I'm just noticing now, but Teddy Costa beater, you don't usually see that.
Yeah.
Boston Pandas definitely making the most of their tight roster this weekend.
Lost Boys actually played Salt Lake earlier today. It was our first game of the day. And I must say that although we did lose that game, it was a great sort of learning experience and a great game on both sides. Since we are missing quite a few of our big drivers today, we had to sort of adjust our strategy, and we made a lot of changes that really worked against Salt Lake that we hope to apply to future games.
Yeah, these are two of the most physical teams I've definitely seen today. You're seeing big hits and tackles.
A lot of
almost
reps.
every single possession.
It does look like for this game, Salt Lake is trying to focus more on kind of driving as opposed to passing off to the small hoop like they did a lot during our game. They also had a chance to watch the Pandas play with TCQC. Oh, and a great jump and score from the Pandas. Oh, stoppage of play. Salt Lake City has called a stoppage of play. So we're taking a little timeout.
Yeah, while the timeout's up, I can definitely say the Pandas are just like such a collection of strong players who've gotten the experience to play over the summer. I think only a few of their whole roster was not part of an MLQ team or franchise, and just having that extra 3 months to play before what feels like one of the first club tournaments of the season really, I'm sure, adds a huge benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like practicing has definitely also been tricky for a lot of the teams, just as the way things are, along with weather conditions in some of the colder states. Thankfully, we've been lucky enough in California and Los Angeles where we had great weather, but you know, COVID keeps throwing a wrench in everyone's plans, so we're still very glad that this tournament is happening.
Yeah, and I think we can say as commentators from both LA and Boston that it's just cold here.
Yeah.
You know? It's not, from either of our perspectives, particularly warm. I wore shorts. It was a mistake. I really thought a 47-degree forecast would feel much, much warmer.
Yeah, the sun is hiding from us, but it's not too bad for those running around on the field. I will say the slight elevation and cold air did take a toll on our lungs during our first game and our warm-ups, but we're getting used to it. Shout out to those days of playing Quidditch in the snow in Boston.
Yeah.
I do have to say though that this field ground is one of the best ones I've played on that's been like natural grass and not soccer field. It's so flat, there's no holes, there's no divots, no tall grass, so
it looks really dead, but it's actually quite really nice. It's surprisingly soft.
And you can see the lines of the field so clearly. We have
Salt Lake driving
keeper.
it up.
Oh.
Tackled by Beckman and Mo.
Unfortunately, that last-minute throw did not make it through the hoop, but it was close. We are still at 30-90 with the Pandas leading. We have Jess Daly on the chaser line right now for the Pandas.
That's another score by Ian Skura.
Racking them up.
Ian Skura, Middlebury alum, which was the founding institution for Quidditch almost 15 years ago, right? If my math's right.
A little more than that, I think, at this point. We did lose a couple of seasons due to the lockdowns,
I don't count
but
the last 2 years towards the history book.
they
so.
feel like they didn't really happen anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Salt Lake with the quaffle. Looks like Pandas have bludger control. Salt Lake lost their only bludger with their beater running back to hoops. And Pandas have a quaffle. Looks like there's none. And that is a goal from Jess Daly.
Have number 30 on Salt Lake subbing out the keeper, swapping keepers.
Cameron Von Bars back in the game as the keeper, along with number 44, Kellen Huber, as another chaser for Salt Lake. You have George Williams and Matt Williams playing as beaters for Salt Lake, trying to clear some space. George throws back, and takes down Tessa Mullins. And that is a goal for Salt Lake.
So it seems like the Pandas are operating in a 2-2 zone to kind of shut down that driving capability of Salt Lake, but it didn't quite stop them there.
Stoppage of play. Looks like the refs are gathering.
I think we have an injury, a nosebleed. So we're just going to stay on center for the pitch for a bit. Yeah, Salt Lake City playing incredibly well. Again, it's a team that I haven't had much firsthand experience watching, but I wouldn't want to go up against. Yeah.
I do have to say they feel a little more disjointed in this game than they did during the game against the Lost Boys as we played them earlier. Looks like they're leaning a lot on their driving, but the Pandas are ready to shut those down, as well as the passes with some great beater plays, and of course a lot of wraps happening. So far, I believe it's been a relatively injury-free tournament. Nothing serious, at least, as far as I have observed.
All right. Remounting. Injury dealt with. Handoff to Skura. Pass to Mo. Back to Skura.
Oh,
shot just a little over. I know firsthand going up against Skura, the pinpoint accuracy of so many of his shots just makes it brutal to keep against. If you're not a top tier keeper, you're not going to be able to cover the space or block those shots. So props to Salt Lake City for blocking as many as they have. Handoff by Salt Lake.
Out. Beater play opening some lines, and Skura tries to stop it, but Cameron pokes it out.
Trying to set up the give and go there, didn't quite work. Mo,
taken down. Quick pass to Liz, who tries to turtle it, allowing for the beaters to come and tap her out.
Yeah, you don't want to go up against Mo. Once you're wrapped up, you're going to the ground. Ooh.
Oh, that is not a score. Looks like the head ref is consulting the goal ref and AR.
Goal is no good. Score is still 40-110. Boston Pandas.
I feel like another thing that I have observed this season, in the couple of tournaments that we've been at and that I've watched, is that teams are starting to utilize their non-male players a lot more and giving them a lot more, opportunities. And also, those players have been getting a lot more aggressive on the field, especially with the two-arm tackling being implemented. It gives them a lot more opportunity to really make those hits to people that are much larger than they are. Oh, not a goal for the Pandas. Ooh, Cam grabs it. And a fast break, and a goal.
Man, great transition breakaway by Cameron there.
That was a close call. That beat almost got him. Looks like there's a timeout from the Pandas. Score is 50-110. Pandas leading. How many people do we have watching us here?
If only I had 8 hands to tell you. Hold on just a second. Yeah, it looks like we got 43 viewers in right now watching this game.
Amazing. To anyone just joining us, we are at the Sin City Classic tournament on Field 1 watching the Boston Pandas against the Salt Lake Quidditch Club. Score is 50-110. We have 3 fields at this tournament, a whole bunch of teams flying from all over the country to participate. Right now there is a timeout from the Boston Pandas. Looks like they're looking to adjust their strategy a little bit, as Salt Lake has been getting quite a few stops around the hoops and getting some drives through the defense. Head ref's calling back to hoops.
Alright, the game's starting up again. Ian Scare with the ball. Nam has the ball now.
Now I'm calling for some backup up top with passing.
Over to Mo. Seeing a switch.
And
there he's got the
great
ball.
catch.
Oh!
Oh!
Good way to stay on broom.
Oh, almost lost that broom. But the ball has been turtled, and it is safe.
That's Gina Allen. Great work staying on broom and blocking that pass back. I believe on that last possession, Boston was implementing a box formation, doing some switches to try to open up some space. Ooh, Teddy with the block, beating the opposing beater.
Pandas have bludger control. Clear. That beat is blocked. Pass deep behind the hoops.
Ooh.
And Pandas have possession.
I've done every game so far. I'll have one more.
And we're on last possession before we break for the 20-minute mark. Skura with the quaffle, trying to juke around. Oh, jumping over a beat.
Ooh.
And scoring the goal.
Yep. Another goal by Skura, and that is the end of the 20-minute mark.
We are at 50-120. Pandas leading.
Yeah, and I was looking for a name, but I don't have it here in front of me. But 83 on Salt Lake seems to be so agile and just really physical. Anytime that they start approaching Pandas, the Pandas just have to toss it away, make a pass, do something.
Yeah, it's always tricky to deal with the fast players that try and that are able to change direction super quickly. I know Justin Fernandez on our team is the same way. He is you just lose him so easily, and those people are usually very hard to mark one-on-one.
Yeah, so I think what Salt Lake Quidditch is going to have to do going forward is adjust their gameplay from drives, and maybe just try to open up space, get someone at an empty hoop to score, which might be a challenge against this veteran team in Boston. And I think for Boston, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, just getting the score up little by little. A snitch catch could really help Salt Lake right now.
That could still get them somewhat in a closer range for a 85 to 120 score potentially.
And set score will be 190.
And our snitch runner is John Smutney today. A huge shout out to all the volunteers, non-playing volunteers that came to help out with the tournament today as refs, snitches, organizational staff. We're very thankful for your services and your time. Quick pass to
Gina
Allen.
Oh.
And gets taken down.
Quick hit by Mo.
And we have Seekers going in for the snitch. Beckman on the Boston Pandas. And we have Kellen Huber as the Seeker for Salt Lake, who seems to really be blocked out by the Pandas beater and hasn't really gotten any good looks on the snitch yet. He seems to be hanging out on the side.
Big hit by the Salt Lake City keeper.
Teddy Costa is really keeping his eye on the Salt Lake Seeker, not really letting him get close. Oh,
Yeah,
and he gets beat out, finally giving Salt Lake an opportunity to go for that snitch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Salt Lake scores with a
Great work.
quick pass behind the hoops from their keeper to number 7.
Katie Williams.
We have Jess Daly as the Seeker for the Pandas now.
Skura to Mo. Mo back to Skura.
Our snitch today has long arms, long legs.
Beat
It's
out.
going to be a difficult one to reach.
Keeper's going to get the ball. That's Luke Steining, who has been a big part of the offense. The ball handling coming up the pitch, at least to the halfway point.
Black Seeker is beat out. And so is the Salt Lake Seeker. Meanwhile, Milo has the ball running up the field. Oh, getting beat.
And I realized we were so excited earlier about the great goal by Katie Williams that we forgot to mark her score down, but it's updated now, so it is 61-20. Set score of 190. Interesting. Boston is defensive seeking, probably just looking to win by scoring. the remaining amount, and just taking that opportunity away from Salt Lake City.
And that's a quick pass and score for the Pandas.
That is, yeah, and that's Mary Scott. Mary Scott, she is always where you don't want her to be when you're up against her. She just gets to that hoop silent like a ninja.
I think it's always frustrating as a keeper when you're right next to that pass, but you just don't react fast enough to prevent that goal from happening.
And it always, good beat by Vinny. Teddy coming down. Across, a great cross
great
to Tyler
pass.
Beckman. Wow.
Score is 60-140.
Boston just maintaining control.
Still a fight for the snitch. It doesn't look like the Salt Lake Seeker is really trying to make a lot of moves towards the snitch. Just trying to find the right moment to kind of lunge,
It's hard when you got that person in your way, for sure.
letting Daly fight it out.
Gina Allen taking it up. Cross over to Katie Williams. Back to Gina. Ooh, she tried to outwheel Skur and make a pass over to the hoops, but in the kind of confusion on the ground, it looks like Salt Lake City got that goal there by keeper 47, Cameron Von Barn, but it's going to be called no good.
Beat before.
And we've heard that there's some issues with the video latency of the stream. The sound's coming through just fine. We'll try to work on that for the next game. Apologies, folks, with the Wi-Fi connection we got here on the field, but all games are recorded and will be reposted later for rewatching. And it'll still have our lovely commentary.
I'm now realizing Daly's wearing leggings with one side covered in pandas, which is adorable, very on brand.
Jess Daly going for the snitch. You can really, it looks like she's not moving at all, but you can see all the effort that she's putting in.
And she's subbing in for...
Yeah, looks like Mo. Yeah, this snitch we have here is just incredible, incredibly strong. I believe I think I overheard a linebacker in high school back in the day.
Trying to go for those brooms quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's also giving some compliments to the Seekers while he's at it.
Yeah. All right, back over here. It's a turnover with none. Skur is gonna run it up, but looking for the tackle, Salt Lake, but Boston just able to pass it around so quickly. That was Skur Teddy Beckman for the goal there. And just 40 more points.
It really feels like the Seeker for Salt Lake has not gotten a good opportunity or enough opportunities with the snitch.
Oh yeah. Here they go, giving him a chance
There
with the
we go.
beater.
And a pass to the back. Oh, bit of a fumble back there.
Gene Allen.
Still fighting for that
Jess
quaffle.
Daly's just going to dive on the ball. It's key to be able to turtle right at the hoops there. All right, Ian Skur walking the ball up with Tessa Mullins guarding in front.
Coming down the left side of the field, cutting
Let's go.
in and
Ooh.
going for that shot.
Fake cut to shoot.
Oh man, just as no one is
No-look
expecting
shot.
it.
Incredible. Jess Daly back at it. Beat out by Salt Lake City's beater 12. Giving Salt Lake another chance here.
Really need to dive under those long arms.
You can see both teams are just, good pass by 83 over the top of the hoops. Yeah. Both Seekers definitely putting in the work, trying to swim around those arms, but just finding no chance.
Salt Lake Beaters are definitely focusing on the quaffle play. We haven't seen them hang around the snitch too much. And same with the Pandas Beaters as well. They don't really need to worry about the snitch that much at this point.
But doing a good work beating out the Pandas Seeker and Chaser on their way back to the hoops to defend it. That's smart micromanagement on the field. All right, we have Salt Lake City Keeper bringing it up.
3 more goals for the Boston Pandas to win this game.
Or the pull.
Oh!
Salt Lake. We're going to see if that's called good. But enthusiastic after that difficult struggle by so many Seekers to even get a chance.
Salt Lake Seeker was really playing the long game.
All right, that's
like catch
good.
is good. That is 35 points for Salt Lake Quidditch Club.
95-160.
Set score is 190. Cameron Von Bar once again is the keeper with the quaffle coming down. Looks like they've lost one of their beaters who's running back to hoops. They've lost both beaters running back to hoops. Trying to go for that pass, but sending it straight into the hands of the Boston Pandas keeper. Somehow the ball gets dislodged. Pandas managed to do that pass, and once again, straight into the hands of the keeper.
Great work there. All right. Von Bar walking back up with the pitch again. Ooh, good beat.
And we got a fast
Just Daly making a
drive.
quick breakaway.
And a quick
Gives it
pass
1-2.
to Skura.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's always very exciting when you get that fast break opportunity and you just see your teammate running down with you, knowing you have that easy pass and dunk.
And it's usually a smarter option too. Instead of playing hero ball, it's to give that one little quick push and just secure the goal. I think you see a lot of earlier players trying to just take it straight to the hoop and they just get tackled or blocked from the path. Oh, all right. Gina Allen, called
looks
beat.
like beat.
And I think it's known as, good tackle by 83 Salt Lake City.
Nice.
Mo
And a
picks
pass.
up.
Beautiful
Mo.
pass. That was a great pass, I believe, by Skura to Morgan by the hoop, who immediately dunked it in. That's what we like to see.
We've got 30, Luke bringing it up the field.
George Williams with the ball, trying to drive through, quick pass, and that is a goal for Salt Lake. And a fast break from Skura, but he gets beat out. Mo catches that ball beautifully and scores it in. Oh, that was a great, great pass.
That was a good
And it looks like that ends our game.
That was a good last Salt Lake possession, but it doesn't stop once the goal's stored. It can start right up again, and Boston just took the opportunity to run it downfield.
Yep.
Great game by both teams. I'm really excited to see more of Salt Lake Quidditch Club. And thanks for watching, and thanks for commentating for us.
Of course, this was super fun, and now it's time for me to go warm up for our next game, which I believe will be on this field, so you'll see me on camera.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. We'll be back again soon.